Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to Takeover United Pod. And today we hopefully have maybe a more hopeful episode for you. Who am I kidding? It's going to be the same crap every week. Now, you'll see on the top of a stream, top of the video, that it says Man United 2-1 Chelsea, which is true. We did beat Chelsea at home. In fact, we beat them so well that. Did you see that tweet by Sevilla? Somdeep. They say last win at Old Trafford, Sevilla 2018, Chelsea 2013, and we don't play in the Premier League. This is the official Sevilla account tweeting this.
Yeah, I did see that.
But yeah, so we did win, but and the United fan base has been going absolutely nuts over the past few days. Today is Tuesday, right? The game was on Saturday. And the past 3 days, the fans have been absolutely going gung ho, to put it mildly, over the victory. People are saying, Amberim is finally showing his blah, 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 blah. City are on the same points as us, and blah, 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 blah. I think, oh, yeah, the other thing was, we have. Are again the same, this XG, moral victory nonsense that the English cricket team gives. Our XG is one of the highest in the league. Forgetting the context of, if you give the Chelsea game aside, forgetting the context of where Lod's XG was gotten from, right?
Yeah.
But we will get to that shortly. But yeah, I think, Somdeep, don't you think most people are forgetting? I know we won 2-1, and I'll always take a win, right? We've had, like, United.
Absolutely. Yeah.
United has had many famous wins where they just, kind of, win against the grain, win games that they're supposed to lose, or win games that they're weaker team. I get all that. It's football, right? Football, bloody hell. But just to put it in context, I don't think this game was anything like a vindication of Amorim's tactics or philosophies, because Chelsea's goalkeeper, and a very good goalkeeper, right? Not like the kind of shit we put between our sticks. Chelsea's goalkeeper got sent off in the 5th minute for, well, to be fair, a
Yeah.
very bad tackle. On who was it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
On who did he tackle?
Mbuemo.
Jesco? No, Nbuemo. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A very bad tackle. He got sent off, and then Enzo Maresca basically lost his mind after that. He he subbed off his wingers, and then Palmer had an injury, so he subbed off his number 10 as well. And Joao Pedro, I think he was left, right? Joao Pedro was left after this.
Yeah.
He was basically isolated up top. So it felt like Chelsea was playing like United in a way. Your striker is isolated up top, no service. And they somehow did get a goal in the second half. But funnily enough, Somdeep, if you compare the stats, after we had our own send off, where Casemiro got sent off the second half,
Right.
we looked horrible after that. When the number of people on in both teams were equal, we looked absolutely abject. And of course, it didn't help that we had Ugarte on the pitch at that point as well. So yeah, man, I personally feel that the win really didn't, not too big of a positive in my mind. I felt just that Chelsea were a man short, and kind of they gave up the game after the send off. It felt like. So I think that's what enabled
Yeah.
us to
Yeah.
kind of win, and it was a good win. I agree, but Amram still continues to say that he'll be as stubborn. He says even the Pope can't make him change. If I remember correctly, the pre-match comments, he said he'll not change. He said he
Yeah.
said we'll have more suffering this season. Come on, dude. How much do you want the fans to suffer?
Um, man, like I'm hesitant to draw any conclusions from a game where it was pretty much decided with third minute red card.
Yeah.
Uh, I think if there's positives for United or any conclusions we can take for United, uh, one would be the fact that we forced the issue and got the red card to happen. So maybe that, like, I count that. Uh, and even if you look at that move, right, it came from Binder being pressed and not really knowing what to do with the ball except punt it really long. And credit to him, it was a solid punt.
It was a good punt,
Landed,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Somehow
He put
Binder is a
everything,
passing goalkeeper I've been looking for, right?
yeah, and like necessity truly is the mother of invention. When you have no way to build up through the first third, uh, Binder's passing is probably the way to go. Uh,
Hold on. Any third. We don't build up in any third.
yes, absolutely. I, all right,
Our
like
creative player, our
jokes
best
aside,
creative player plays DM.
I think that's something that we've covered a lot. That's been covered out there a lot, and it's weird to me every week seeing analysis of how Bruno Fernandes essentially failed to track his runners in our box. Right, like it's confusing to me because this guy is probably one of the best tens in the world, right? Like, and this isn't like rocket science. This is, I think, this is fairly obvious to everyone out there. Uh, but okay, anyway, that's a topic for another day. Uh, if you want to take positives for United from that game, I
Mm,
think Sesko's header that he won there and flicked onto Embuemo, which led to us winning the penalty. I thought that was nice to see
mm.
because he basically sort of won us the game with that action. If you zoom out and look at it, because one, like, for a player who's new to the Premier League to be able to do that is convincing and is
You mean
good
red
to
card,
see
right? We didn't
as a
have
United fan.
penalties that game.
Oh yeah, sorry. Red card, red card, penalty, whatever. Like assistance for Abraham is how I see it. Everything aside, obviously I'm happy that the team won, and I think we needed those 3 points, right? So definitely, like, e- even if there are more results like this, I'll take it because we're in that situation, right? Like whatever keeps us moving up the table and being in contention for Europe, maybe is a positive. But in terms of
Europe,
uh,
really?
there's also Conference League. Like we're not necessarily talking Champions League here. So yeah, I think positives for me. Uh, Sesko did well in that action. Obviously, Mbuemo did well. Uh, the team started the game pretty nicely in terms of intensity. That's it. I'm reluctant to draw any more conclusions because everything after that was decided by the fact that they were down to 10 men and we got 2 goals, right?
Yeah.
And by the time we also went down to 10 men, we were 2 goals up. So uh, there wasn't much onus on us to perform at a high level anyway. So even though I agree we played really badly when both teams had the same number of players, uh, I still don't want to draw a conclusion because we were 2-0 up. We probably didn't feel the need to play or anything. As much as I would want to criticize Amram because there's always something. Uh, this game, I don't really know. I think it was just a case of, to me, it felt like a case of two teams who are equally not so good
Yeah.
right now.
Mm.
I know Chelsea won the Club World Cup, right? I'm not taking anything away from them, but I think even after that, they've made a lot of confusing squad decisions. Whether it's the whole striker changes with Jackson leaving and others coming in, um, the fact that they didn't bring in a centre back after losing Levi Colwell, uh, crazy to me personally.
Yeah.
Um, and also the fact that they haven't, like, they have like 7 keepers. I read the other day, and somehow Robert Sanchez is their best option is still problematic. Uh, yeah, I think this game tells us very little about United and Amorim,
Mm.
uh, but it tells us a lot about the issues at Chelsea right now. And it's like you said, right? Have you ever seen a manager just sort of give up on a game so quickly after going down to 10 men
Yeah.
with nine
That was
with almost
shocking.
90 minutes left to play?
Yeah.
Right.
He subbed off all his attack. I mean, both his wingers were taken off. He went to back three.
Like, I didn't get the rationale behind it because okay, you take Palmer off because he's got injury issues.
No,
I get it,
that was
right?
much
But
later. That was after Bruno's goal. But immediately after
right,
the red card, he
right.
took off both his wingers.
Yeah, and I did not get the logic in that. I mean, you're down to 10 men. It means you're almost certainly going to be playing on the counter,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Uh, you want your counter attacking threat. Now, I've read that there's theories that when you are down to 10 men, the best way to make comebacks is play really narrow, okay, and play without width.
Mm.
Because I think Klopp used to believe this, and he did it successfully a few times. But I don't know. In that game, it didn't make sense to me because, like, you also need some directness, right? And
Yeah.
Neto's gone. Uh, like, I think Joao Pedro actually did very well considering he
Mm.
was literally a one-man army
Yeah,
in
he was
attack,
totally
right? Like,
isolated, and you could see how
completely.
better Chelsea looked after who was a guy, Tyreek George came in, because then that gave them some
Yeah,
attacking variety. Till that point, I mean, they
yeah,
had
and
nobody. It was just Caicedo and Fernandez and Santos trying to do something, and they couldn't do anything.
absolutely. And the strange thing for me was that it's like you said. There's one of the primary substitutions was bringing Tyreek George, who I think is extremely talented, but
Yeah.
it also feels like they needed Nicholas Jackson in that squad, don't you think? Like,
Mm.
uh, and I think both clubs have done similar things. Because if we lose Sesko, we're probably going to regret not having Hoyland in there. Like, I don't understand a lot of the squad planning decisions both these clubs have made, uh, especially this summer. I think in
Especially for
United's case,
Chelsea, man.
every summer.
Especially for Chelsea, given the fact that they have so many players,
Yes,
and yet it feels
yes,
like they have nobody.
yes,
Like for
yes.
United,
Like
we
you hit the
actually
nail.
have
Yeah.
nobody. We kind of sold everyone, good, bad,
Yeah, but
ugly.
even United, like even United did manage to land Bruno, and to be fair, Chelsea managed to land Palmer. But then they've spent so much more.
Yeah,
You
I
know, they've
mean,
spent 2 billion.
Chelsea's squad says it's like multiple football teams, and yet the fact
Yeah,
that one injury or one, when Cole Palmer was injured, for example, they look completely lost. Um,
absolutely.
like
Like
that
I
just
don't get
boggles the
it.
mind. You're
Like,
like a 30-40 man squad. Like, how can they be so bad?
and see the fact that they've spent 2 billion, right? That's their prerogative, and I don't have a problem with that. It's owners showing ambition or whatever.
Yeah,
But what's the like? I can't look at that squad and tell you what the clear plan is. I think they have lots and lots of questionable signings.
yeah.
Um, like you take someone like Tosin, right?
Mm.
Okay, probably the safest because he was on a free from Fulham. But I think it's become pretty clear he's not at the level Chelsea need. Like, right? You take Gittins, who they signed for 60 million, and I've spoken about him before. I think he is immensely talented, and I think he has everything in it to become a top player. But this Chelsea squad for 60 million, I don't know if that's the right
Mm.
allocation of their funds, right? Uh, I actually think for all the signings they've made, Garnacho at 30 to 40 million is going to end up being one of the better signings because uh, that's a pretty cheap fee for probably the most talented left winger right now.
Right, right.
What do you have to like? What did you think of the reception that Garnacho received at Old Trafford?
Oh man, that. So I kind of understand why the fans hate him, but
Yeah,
I look, when Twitter fans or online fans give him that treatment, I understand, right? Online
yeah,
fans are
absolutely.
not well informed or whatever. But for the stadium going fans to do that, um, there's a general consensus that the stadium going fans are a little more forgiving and more, especially Man United, right? We back our managers for too long, we back our players for too long. Like, come on, man, players like, I don't know, like even Fellaini, or players like that, or even Harry Maguire, even De Gea when he's having such a bad on form. Now, I get it, De Gea has done much more for the club, so not bring him up. But say players like
Right,
Fellaini or
right,
Maguire, who kind of had like so-so careers with us, even
right.
they never got this level, like, kind of treatment. Like Garnacho, I mean, come on, man, like, you when when you support a club that prides itself on youth development, and then sure he made a couple of mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect. I mean, we know the shenanigans with the brother. I mean, obviously we'll never know if it's true, but it was said that his brother used to leak lineups and all that, and
Allegedly. Yeah.
allegedly, and well, they do seem to have gone away a bit now, but the lineup
Allegedly.
leaks seem to have reduced now. But you still have dressing room drama leaking to outlets like the Athletic. You know,
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
had plenty of dressing room drama leaked to the Athletic and other media outlets in the past few weeks. And there's no Garnacho at the club. There's no Rashford at the club. So
Yeah.
the fact that Garnacho, who was one of the bright spots for United over the past few seasons, right? Like, okay, even Hoyland did not get this kind of treatment from our fans.
Yeah. And we're not saying he should. That's not the point. It's
Yeah,
more like that there's a
yeah, but why boo
inconsistency.
him to that
Like,
amount, man? Like, he's a kid. He's like
yeah.
20 years, and his stats are like just behind Lamine Yamal, and Lamine Yamal is a
In
super
that
high
age
bar,
group. Yeah.
right? Yeah, in that
Yeah.
age
That's a
bracket,
crazy one.
obviously,
Like,
not comparing to
yeah.
all players,
Yeah.
but in that age bracket.
Hmm.
So that obviously says, I mean, sure, is Rash is not Rashford, sorry, is Garnacho as talented as Ronaldo, his idol? Probably not, right? And we never
Yeah.
know. We won't
Safe
know that.
assumption.
We would know that for another 10 years at least, right? When
Right.
when
But
Garnacho
I mean,
has a body of work of at least a few seasons, we can't even begin to make a fair comparison, right? But what do we know? We know
absolutely.
that Garnacho at this age was better than Ronaldo at this age. And if you remember, at least stats wise, um, Ronaldo's early
I
seasons
mean,
were bad, and he used to showboat a lot. Ronaldo needed a lot of training to become the machine that he became at Real Madrid, right? Um, I think except his last two seasons at United, and he did get the
yeah.
Ballon d'Or in one of them.
Last three. Last three. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you remember Ronaldo's early years, he was a frustrating player to watch, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I watched every minute of that period, right? Like
Yeah,
we we,
and
we,
that
we were
just
glued.
reminds me a bit about Garnacho. Like Garnacho is still very young, and the frustration is like he's a winger, right? He's a
Yeah,
winger trying to emulate possibly the greatest winger of our times, maybe with
absolutely.
half the
Mhm.
talent. So
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's an accurate sum. But I think here's the thing: like, if a player has even the quarter a level of the talent that Cristiano Ronaldo has,
yeah,
I don't think that's a knock on them.
right.
Like that's okay because
Because
that's
those two,
most players ever.
yeah, exactly.
Like these guys are
Nobody's going
freaks.
to
Like
come close to those two, man. Like even Mbappe and Haaland are probably not going to come close to those two.
no, and
It's
and
just
and Mbappe
insane
and
the level of
Haaland, to be
output that
clear,
those two have had
yeah,
and
absolutely. And
continue to have.
the thing is, Mbappe and Haaland are absolute freaks themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and I fully recognize that. Like,
And they
whether it's
still
the
might
goal
not come
scoring,
to Messi Ronaldo statistics. It's just insane, right?
yeah. I don't think they're going to come to those statistics, and B, I don't think their overall impact on games at any point has, like, even given how insanely good they are, it's still not on the level of impact those two have had,
Yeah.
right? Like Messi and Ronaldo would pretty much decide a game just by being on the pitch.
Right.
It didn't like uh, I mean, Ronaldo had years where or seasons where he'd had like 70 GA, right, and be second. Like, like it's difficult to absorb, but he'd rack
Yeah.
up numbers like that and come second. Messi had a year with 91
Right.
goals,
That's the best ever calendar year output, right? 91 goals.
and he was arguably overweight that year. Like, there's that popular picture of him at Burger King or something. That always crops up from that because he was like
Yeah. And like I was seeing
appearance
another
wise
stat
overweight.
yesterday, like, after Dembele won
Yeah.
the Ballon d'Or, they're like, oh,
Mhm.
Dembele is the 14th highest in, GA among Ballon d'Or winners. But
Right.
12 of the top 13 are just Messi and Ronaldo. Like,
On
it's
Messi and
just
Ronaldo.
insane how
Yeah.
good those two are.
And part of that is also because I think a lot of footballs shift towards goals and assists and like putting a number on them and highlighting them came with Messi and
Yeah.
Ronaldo because
Because they were just so
uh
insane at scoring
yeah,
goals
because
and
like
assists.
they hit numbers where you kind of have to sit up and take notice, because the thing is, the Ballon d'Or in the past wasn't always decided on goals and assists, and there's examples that personally bother me to this day. For instance, the 1999
Yeah.
Ballon d'Or, which was won by Rivaldo, who I think, to be fair, not the most controversial winner. I do think he had a case to win for sure, and clearly one of the best players in the world. But if you're saying goals and assists, right? I think he had 45 odd. Dwight York, right, had 50
And
the
he won a
same year.
treble, man.
And he won a treble, which obviously Rivaldo's Barcelona didn't. They were knocked out in the group stages
Yeah.
by Manchester United, right, who finished ahead of them with Bayern. And that's crazy because United were in a group with Bayern and Barcelona and managed to qualify. So that's a very impressive campaign, but different story. So yeah, my point was just that Ballon d'Ors and weren't always decided
Yeah, it used to be a
primarily by
popularity
goals and
contest.
assists.
It's still
Yeah,
kind of a
because I mean,
popularity
Pavel,
contest.
yes, but I do think post Messi and Ronaldo, there is a like a heightened focus on goals and assists, just
Yeah.
because their numbers were too much, man.
Yeah.
Like
I think Messi and
if you have a
Ronaldo,
guy
the
who's
intersection of goals and assists and popularity were just a circle because they're just so damn good.
yeah, they were too good. Like I don't think you've seen two phenomenons at that level and consistency
Hmm.
peaking at exactly the same times,
Yeah.
and just achieving so much. Uh, and coming back to Ghana, so I guess my point is that you know that he's probably not going to hit Ronaldo's level. Uh, I know that he's probably not going to hit Ronaldo's level, and that's okay. That's the norm for most players. Um, I can understand match-going fans booing and criticizing him for joining Chelsea because they're sort of rivals. It's not
Yeah, but
it's not directly
it's not
so.
like Garnacho spent 10 years at the club and then said we're a bunch of wankers and moved to Chelsea, right? We literally pushed him out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like that's the perspective everyone's missing.
Yeah,
Garnacho didn't want to leave. He was pushed out by the manager. He
right.
explicitly
Or
said,
maybe even
"I
Ineos because Ineos has been wanting
uh,
to do sell players for PSR reasons. I not just only blame Amorim, to be
absolutely."
fair.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I think Ineos has made it clear that they are open to selling players from the academy. And if you look at the track record since they've arrived, they've actually made multiple academy sales, right?
Yeah,
Um, Starting with Scott McTominay, who I still don't think was a good sale for the club. Of course, it's easy to say that now that he's finished 15th or 18th in the Ballon d'Or rankings, but that's something we've been saying for a year, well over a year.
yeah,
Uh, they've sold Scott McTominay. They've done their best to sell Marcus Rashford. They have sold Alejandro Garnacho, and I would say in all three cases they have either received no money or very little money relative to the value of these players. Um, they've sold Willie Kambala uh, without, and I felt he had done enough to at least get one more season at the club. I don't think it was like a fully thought out sale. Um, they've made a lot of these sales, and I think it would look better if they hadn't brought in players like Manuel Ugarte in
yeah.
in his replacements. So 100%. I mean, they are to blame for this strategy as well,
Right.
and I
So
don't know if
that's what
it's
I
a
mean.
well thought out strategy.
Yeah, and generally in the past, at least match going fans used to have this context, right? When they used to either boo or cheer players, right? So again,
Right.
coming back to my point, that's what I don't understand. Like, see, I'm not terribly sad that Garnacho got booed. He's not a United player anymore. What do I care? But
Right.
but the
That's
thing
fair.
is, yeah, I mean, like, come on, man. He didn't do anything to disrespect the club, right? After leaving,
Yeah,
right?
it's not like you pulled a Tevez. Like it's
Right,
it's not the
exactly.
same situation.
And even
Right.
Tevez probably did not get booed this.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if Tevez got booed, it's probably hard to make a case for him because
Yeah.
like, he held up, like
Uh,
I don't want to say it, but he held up banners and
yeah,
stuff
I
to,
know. Tevez did
frankly,
way worse
distasteful.
shit, and people still talk
Yeah,
about him
yeah,
fondly, man. Like they're like, I just did that
yeah,
one thing. No, it's not just that
yeah.
one
He and,
thing.
and, he- and he went to an actual rival.
Yeah,
Like Chelsea,
crosstown
as
rival.
much as you'd like to say, are they're more like just contextual rivals. They're not really like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's it's not really
Like
a
Tevez
direct
went to
rivalry.
Man City and puts up a banner saying "Welcome to Manchester" with him in a City uniform and bang in the center of the city. Like
and he was
way
directly
worse.
responsible for them winning like their title. Like he directly
Yeah,
initiated a lot of their success.
exactly.
S- Uh, so, and he was very good at it, like
Yeah.
which made it worse.
Like I know
Um,
Garnacho had a bad season last year, but that you
that's
can't
true.
just blame him purely for that, right?
Yeah, but
XG underperformance,
you know,
yes, I get it. He did miss sitters and all that, but those things
absolutely, he
average
did.
out over a
Yeah,
career. He overperformed XG the previous season, so
I think his finishing was absolutely like it could have been better
yeah,
last year, right? But then
totally.
that's kind of granted you get that with young wingers, especially, right? Like name one young winger who is a consistent finisher. Even Lamine, who I think is like on a different planet to a talent like Garnacho, right? Even he had 9 goals last
Yeah,
year, right? Like goal scoring, especially in that under 20 age category, especially for wingers, is hardly consistent.
yeah.
Um,
And wingers in general are consistent. It's why they're wingers and not center forwards.
yeah, I mean, they're not consistent scorers anyway. Like, this is a recurring theme. Like, I often see discussions of how, Rashford is, for instance, is poor, fair,
Yeah, like bro,
and
do you
he's not
remember
getting enough.
Nani?
Yeah, but he, but he, and criticism of how he isn't getting enough goals. Okay, fair. But have people looked at other wingers across Europe?
Exactly.
Because uh, if you even take Rafael Leao, right? He's had a season with 15 league goals for AC Milan once, and the last 2 seasons it's been 8 goals and 9 goals. And I'd argue that there may be like a similar team to United in terms of stability, maybe even with a better squad, in
Hmm.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Because so I don't think people contextualize that wingers don't score a lot anyway when they look at Garnacho or Rashford or well, most other wingers. Like I think Messi and Ronaldo have flawed everyone's expectations of how many goals a
Yeah, I
winger can
think
get.
they have broken
Everything.
kind of expectations, right? Like both were not out and out strikers, right?
Yeah,
Messi
agreed,
was more like
agreed.
a number 10, number 7 hybrid. Ronaldo was a pure winger who cut inside and just a much more
And
clinical
inside
Aryan
forward also.
Robin, right?
I mean,
Way more
I think
clinical.
like like much more like as great as Robin was, I think much more clinical is an
Yeah, no.
understatement. Like,
No, my point is
and
both
that's
were not out and out strikers, and that has kind of broken
yeah,
the
they
mental
weren't.
model
They weren't.
for fans.
Yeah.
And like, man, see, this is what I don't get. Like Rashford, not too long ago, had like a banner season. Which one was that? Uh,
22,
22,
23,
23, right?
right?
He had 30 goals and
41
12
goals
assists.
assists.
30 goals,
Yeah,
12
42
assists,
GA.
42 G, and even two yellow cards. Nice. But
Yeah.
so, and that's when he got that bumper contract, right? For which he's
Yes.
still kind of raked over the coals. But, I just ask one
Yes.
thing. Why are you blaming the guy for taking more money? Any of us will take more money when offered, man. Like, that's I don't get. I think fans sometimes forget that this is a job for footballers. Like,
And a short one.
yeah, exactly. A very short one. Like blame the club for giving such a contract, right?
Yeah.
Like literally we gave the
And
contract on half is in a good performance. Like even that season 22-23, I know 30 goals and 12 assists, we see that, but that number could have been much higher because he really kind of fell off a bit after the contract signings in January. He was not that good in second half of the season.
no, 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 that's not true. He was arguably better in the second half, but in general, he did fall off like over time. The
Yeah,
like, uh, I think the bigger issue is that we know that Rashford is probably not a 300K a week player. Okay, he's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. He
yeah,
he probably deserves 200K for sure.
mm,
Uh, but he's not responsible for either of those numbers.
right.
It's Man United's flawed wage structure which put him in that situation. And then you have a flawed wage structure. You have the guy who's getting the most goals and assists on the game alongside Bruno, right? And he's kind of one of the faces of the club. Of course, he's gonna like agree that he deserves that kind of money, right? Because I'd argue our entire squad is overpaid. We have Mason Mount uh, sitting on 250K a week. Now Mount's an exceptionally good player. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from his quality,
But he
but
barely plays.
yeah, the perception of wages within the entire squad
Mm,
is inflated
yeah,
well beyond Rashford. Casemiro's on similar wages to Rashford, and I get why. I don't get why actually. I do not get why at all. Uh, and even with how incredible Casemiro has been for us, I
Mm.
still don't get that kind of wage for him. So
Yeah.
I don't think Rashford's the only
And
example of it.
Rashford, if
Right?
you look last season across the two clubs he played for, he had 20 GA and he had way lesser minutes last season compared to previous seasons, right?
Yeah.
And he still got 20
Which
GA. So
which is impressive. I think that's highly impressive.
yeah, I think
Oh,
if
and
you his GA per 90 is kind of not as good as 22 23, but it is similar. I'm just kind of eyeballing numbers here. But
yeah,
it is not as good as 22 20, but it's close. So obviously, it is not like he was getting like I mean, I like to remind United fans is like, he was a top scorer for us during in the games he played for Amorim, right? Remember, I think his first game, we beat Fulham 4-0, I think. And
no, the first game with Amram was Ipswich, and Rashford scored in minute one.
yeah, no, but I know, I'm talking the game that he scored twice and we won 4-0, I
Oh,
think.
that was Everton, I think 3-0.
Right,
Yeah.
Everton. Sorry. We won 4-0.
Yeah.
We played
Oh yeah,
against
yeah. We won
Everton.
4-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we played against Everton. We won 4-0. Rashford played the
Yes.
entire game. He scored a brace. And the other goal, guess who scored the other two goals, Sandeep?
Was it Joshua Zirkzee?
Exactly. Um,
Okay.
and Bruno got two
I thought
assists
they
that
combined
game.
it.
Bruno and Ahmad got two
Oh,
assists each that game. And the funniest part is Amorim was not happy with the way we played that game. That's
yeah.
probably our
So this
best game of the Amorim era.
no. So this I think this ties
Regardless of
into the
how bad
Chelsea game
Everton
as
is, that
well.
was still the best
Right?
game of the Amorim era.
The public perception, and especially within United fans, everyone's super happy about the Chelsea win, right? Which makes sense, and so am I, because we
Man,
we really needed those
okay. Let
points.
let me give you this hot take, Sandeep. I don't care what United fans think because we were happy about losing 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Like, the perception is that like the popular opinion
Yeah.
is that everyone's happy, and everyone is kind of over the moon that we're on the same points as City and just a few points of Arsenal. And you know what? I get that, honestly. Uh, the deeper issue is, like, if you look at the actual performance, what do I learn about United from a game where the other team had a third-minute red card?
Yeah.
Nothing, right? Like, realistically, I can't draw any logical conclusion from how good this team is going to be. So I'm not going to include that. Uh, the rest of the performances, we've gone over them. We've gone over Arsenal, Fulham, City. I think best not to talk about the City performance because it was disgusting. But
I
I
think
don't
also
think we
what
have enough information yet to feel confident that United are going to do well this season. I
yeah,
don't see it.
I'll tell you one more thing, Sandeep. We say that, oh, we won two games and we drew one this season, same as City, blah blah blah. Um
Right.
but come on. Um let me if you pull up the table, I'm not going to share it now. I mean, it's not that critical, but if you look at the table, um
Mm.
even Leeds and Everton are on the same points as us.
Yeah, Sunderland's above us, if I'm
Nobody
not
in
wrong.
their right mind would say Leeds and Everton are as good as City or Arsenal. Nobody in their right mind.
Because all it means, like, and I think this should be fairly obvious, is that the table after 5 games doesn't really tell you
Yeah.
much of a picture.
But
Like,
here's what
realistically,
exactly. But here's what I will tell our viewers and what we have seen in the
is
five
performances.
Premier League games, or rather, if we just had one another game, and let's just add the Grimsby game as well for shits and
Yeah,
giggles
because
sake.
we played that. Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we played 6 matches so far this season, right? And
Hmm.
six competitive matches. First one
Yeah.
is Arsenal. Sure, we look good. Calafiori scored in the 13th minute. And Arsenal,
Yeah.
for some reason, completely just stopped playing for the rest of
I
the
don't I
game.
don't I don't think that was by accident. I think that was fully deliberate. They were worried that we would attack the space in behind, which we were threatening a few
Yeah,
times.
and to be
And they were
fair,
like, it's not
we are
worth it.
playing at home, so Arsenal probably were cautious playing away. And
Yeah. And if you look at Mikel Arteta against theoretically top six sides
Yeah,
away from home. He likes to do that. He doesn't like to be super open or attacking, and
right.
you know what? It makes sense. Like
Yeah, I
you
mean,
don't
they
have to
did
do
give
it.
us more respect than we deserved, but I mean, sure, it is what it is, right? But we still lost that game, right?
We still
Despite
lost
all the
that game.
stats
Yes,
and the moral victories that our fans like to claim, like I said, we are basically the English cricket. We are like the Barmy army right now. Uh,
and I think on the balance of the game, a lot of our chances worked out because Arsenal sat off a little
yeah, they
bit
just
too.
stopped
Like
playing, man. They were just absorbing pressure. They
yeah,
didn't do anything else for the rest 70 odd
yeah,
minutes after that goal, right?
yeah,
And then we went to Fulham. We went to Craven Cottage. Fulham,
yeah,
even though we drew 1-1, both goals were scored by Fulham. We didn't
yeah.
score a goal in that game, right?
I don't think we were very good in attack in that game.
Yeah, we weren't.
And I think
And
Fulham,
Marco Silva kind of told us what.
yes, yes, he
Like,
did.
come on, at Fulham, man. Fulham has figured you out, who, by the way, are higher than us in the table. But
Yes,
yeah, I mean, like, see, that's the thing, right? Again, another disappointing game. Then we had the
yeah.
League Cup where we went 2-0 behind quite quickly. And then we had some magic at the end from Boomer and Maguire. Somehow equalized, got it to 2-2, and then lost on penalties. Sure. I mean,
And I think
I
we
generally
deserve
don't
that
consider
loss.
League Cup games as a bellwether of anything because cups are weird,
Agreed.
right?
Fair.
So
Yeah.
I'll not even hold this against Tamarim, right? Freak results happen.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. That one's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But then come back to the league. Burnley. Again, yes, we won 3-2, but again, one of them was an own goal, right? And when we went 1-0 up, at that point, United had not yet scored a goal from open play in the league at that point, right? And this is like the end of August.
I do think that the Burnley performance in attacking terms was probably United's best this season. It's been responsible for over
Man,
half our XG even
yeah,
now because
sure. But it took a 97th minute penalty for us to win that game, and that is 0.75
because
XG.
yeah, because we created a lot, but we also conceded a lot of chances, right?
Yeah,
Like the problem with games where both teams rack up a lot of XG is that sure, like you feel better because you've won in what appears to be a dominant display, but because you've given up a high number and quality of chances, you've actually opened yourself up to a huge risk of conceding. That's why some managers like Arteta, for example, focus so much on
mm,
their defensive stability, right? Because they view as not giving up those many shots as important to control games.
yeah,
Uh, and I think what you're trying to say is we didn't look like we were in full control of the Burnley game,
mm,
even while creating a lot. Right? It was a very end-to-end affair for both teams. Uh, and I think all our games uh, have been end-to-end affairs, except the City one where we did basically nothing. Uh,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
um,
so I think what I want to ask you is Somdeep. So again, this was a
yeah.
game where we were flattered in how well we looked, right? And then
Mhm.
the City game, we were abject terrible, right? Despite what the stats say,
Beyond terrible.
I don't care what the stats say because all of them happened after we went 0-3 down and City basically switched
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
right?
We had point 0.2 XG until
Exactly.
minute 80 of the game.
Yeah,
So, like, that's beyond shocking.
yeah,
Right.
right. We barely created anything. We didn't do anything that game, right? And
Yeah.
then came Chelsea, where they were a man down.
Mhm.
They got a red card in the
Yeah.
fifth minute, and sure, we did look good after that. I'll give you that. But they were a man
Because we were
down.
playing with 11v10. Like,
Yeah,
if we don't look
exactly.
good 11v10, then we have bigger problems. I mean, we have huge problems. So then we have even bigger problems. Then,
Exactly. And we
so,
got found out right after we had a send off as well, right?
yeah, yeah. I
So
felt that in the second half, we could barely keep the ball. And that was weird to me. I wasn't expecting us to score or anything because, we're 2-0 up. Uh, but the fact that we had a head loss and couldn't keep the
yeah.
ball was still a little strange to me. I
So
felt like we were in a way more comfortable position than we
yeah.
realized.
Right. And see, that's the thing, right? Like all these stats that keep, coming up, right? That, oh, we are good at this, we're good at that. Like football has become very, stat oriented. I mean, sure. I mean, that's how sports evolve. But I think the
Yeah,
problem is that a lot of people fail to, like, I'm not judging anybody before anybody goes off me in the comments, but I'm not judging anybody. But I think many people, including us to some extent, don't know how to put these stats in context and how to interpret these stats,
absolutely.
right? So
Yeah, I think that's
I will
that's a
share
huge
another,
problem.
I'll share a tweet on the stream, and I'm sending you these tweets only so that you know which one I'm talking about. But
Okay.
just give me a second while I put it up. Uh, Now, let's see. I hope this works. All right. Yeah. So it is. Yeah. It is on the stream now.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I am
do you see the
familiar.
tweets on the? You do, right?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh, it's the title. Our title is hiding. Let me just quickly make that invisible. All right. Yeah. Now you can see in glorious detail. There you go. Come on, man. And where did we finish in the table last season? We fired that
Yeah,
manager after tweeting this stuff.
this kind of hits on exactly what you said about stats not being contextualized properly. I think a you have to like give context. Like for instance, if we're talking about XG, right? Uh, you have to consider the fact that what kind of game state did that XG come up in? You know, was the
Yeah.
team winning, losing, was the score even? Because if a team's like 2-0 up, they're probably going to give up a lot of XG because they can afford to, right? It doesn't make sense to push forward. Uh,
And that
I think
happens to us
James
every
Matrix.
game because teams know we can't score. They know we can't finish. They know we can't pass. So they're happy to go
Yeah,
2 nil up and just let us attack like aimless chicken.
I read an incredible statistic about this the other day, and this one was with context.
Hmm.
Uh, since Amram's arrival in the Premier League, out of all Premier League teams, Manchester United have spent the second highest amount of time in a losing position.
Yeah.
Uh,
It gets
the
worse.
only
We
team,
spent 14% time in a winning position.
yeah,
14%.
yeah,
Worse
the
than
only
teams that
team
got
worse than us.
relegated last season.
Yeah, the only team worse than us was West Ham. They spent 45% of their time losing. We spent 41%, which means that whenever there's XG numbers that comes up for Ruben Amorim, including this season, a lot of it, 41% of it, has been in a position where we're already losing,
Yeah.
which means that by default is a position where teams are likely to give us space and let us take more shots than we usually would.
Yeah. I think the
Uh,
City game was a great example of that. Right?
the City game, the Arsenal game,
Yeah.
100%. Uh, and for a similar reason, the Chelsea game too, because when a team has 10 men versus 11, you can't reliably count the XG from that game for
Yeah.
either team because it doesn't tell you about the real
No,
quality
and
at all.
it just tells you that even in the, like, for example, City game, City went 3 nil up in 70 minutes, and then
Quite
the,
comfortably, I would
yeah,
say.
and then the next 20 minutes, or actually they kind of started to pull back after even the second goal, which was in 54th minute, right?
I felt like they did. I felt they kind of eased off
Yeah,
pretty
so
quickly.
they gave us a good half an hour to try our
Yes.
shit, and we didn't score a single
Yeah.
goal. Now compare that with the Chelsea game, right?
Yeah.
We went 2 love up, 2 nil up in the first half, right?
Yeah.
And then and just checking the start once in the second half. Yeah, Casemiro. Oh, he got sent off at the end of the first half. My bad.
Yeah. 45th minute.
Yeah, 45 plus 5. So he basically got, yeah. So he got sent off at the end of the half, and then Chelsea had, they immediately looked better, and once they made their attacking subs, they got, Tyreek George in 64th minute. 15 minutes later, they scored. Right. So I'm not okay. I'm
Yeah.
not using time as a crutch because obviously goals can come at any time. So that's really should not be a comparison. But it just
Mhm.
shows that we had almost an entire half to do something against City, salvage some pride, and we did nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we didn't like, and I think that
And
one's
Chelsea
more
scored a goal.
concerning.
And for the entirety of the second half of the Chelsea game, the
Yeah,
the 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 game state was completely different. It was like, oh, will Chelsea score now? Will Chelsea score an equalizer? Will Chelsea do this? Like United's
And they
attack
did
had
come
completely died
close.
down at that point.
And the other, I think, worrying thing there is, I can understand there not being a desire to attack much there. Okay, I get it because we're 2 nil up and now we're both down to 10 men. So the risk taking capacity is way lesser.
Yeah.
But why couldn't we keep the ball? I don't get that part. Like, I didn't sense an attempt or an
Hmm.
ability within the team to retain possession and
Yeah.
kind of, and we had easy grounds for that. We were 2 nil up, so that worries me. The fact that when it was even, we still couldn't control the game while being 2 nil up is kind of concerning to me because I
Agree.
feel like that should be an easy situation to
Totally.
navigate, or easier situation to navigate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I want to talk about one thing.
Yeah.
Let's not include the Chelsea game in
Okay.
kind of our map of where the season's heading.
Hmm.
Just because of the red card and everything, it inflates and confuses everything, right? Uh, the games that worry me the most and make me think we won't finish higher than 12th to 15th this
Hmm.
season are Manchester City and Fulham. And I'll explain why. I think losing to Arsenal, uh, an okay performance for sure, but that's a game that I can see us losing because they're a better team than us right now, and it's okay. Uh, we're not going to come up against too many teams like that. Probably just Liverpool at that level,
Sure.
uh, and maybe Spurs. Man City worries me
Hmm.
because I think they're very like then I don't think they're going to win the title, but they're very much a top four side. So that's kind of the upper end of where we can compete with in mid
Hmm.
table,
Right.
right? So all the better mid table sides like Spurs, uh, maybe not Brighton, but teams in that 4 to 10 range. I think they I think our performance against City showed that we could struggle against teams like that,
Hmm.
uh, and that's concerning to me. Uh, I think the performance against Fulham concerned me the most because that's our direct competition, right? Like we finished 15th. I think we're 11th right now.
Yeah. We are 11.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We are 11.
Uh, and okay, ignoring this season's position, that's just sort of the level of team we're competing against and need to be better than right now. And a lot of our opponents are going to fall in that category, right?
Hmm.
And that was one of our least convincing performances.
Right.
So we're not we're obviously not great against the top of the table like Arsenal or Liverpool, the truly good teams to me.
Yeah.
We're not that great against the top four competitors like Man City, clearly. uh, and we're not great against mid-table teams like Fulham either.
Hmm.
So the only performance I'm convinced by is against Burnley, who to me are relegation contenders, and they just got promoted to the Premier League. So that's a team I would expect United can beat this season.
And even that we
Regardless.
struggled, like I said, right? We
Yeah,
it
even that we gave up a
it
lot of
took us,
XG and two
like,
goals.
again, I'll take the win. I'm not criticizing us for winning before you idiots get some stupid ideas in your heads. But
Absolutely.
it just goes to show how much effort we had to put in that game to win, right?
And
And that's what worries me.
and
Like
that's
a team like Burnley, who is objectively terrible, we struggle to put them away. I mean, we kind of did. We went 2 nil up, and then obviously, because our midfield is non existent, we gave away the lead. And
we
then,
gave away goals. Yeah.
yeah, right. Uh, so that brings us, Sondeep, to what I want to ask you next.
Okay.
Our opposition this weekend is a similar team like Burnley. It's Brentford,
I think,
who, after we stole
probably
their
because of
best player, they look terrible this year. But
yeah, they have lost Wissa and they've lost Mbuemo.
yeah,
Uh, I think
so
I'd still put them a little above Burnley just because they have that Premier League experience, a bit more of it right now. Just a
um,
bit. But yeah,
yeah, I
I
mean,
agree with you.
they've been very bad, man. They lost to Sunderland. They lost to
Yeah.
Forest. Forest sure is a good team. They also Sunderland,
But
and they lost to. They somehow drew Chelsea, which is just hilarious to
they
me.
do with Chelsea, right?
And then they
But I
promptly
agree.
went on to lose
Like,
to Fulham after that.
mhm.
Uh, and and
Mhm.
their only win came against Aston Villa, who for some reason looked just horrible. They're on
Yeah,
relegation form.
they're in relegation form at the moment
But
for sure.
yeah, so I want to ask you, it's time for our traditional time of the podcast. What are your predictions for Brentford? I honestly don't know what to predict. So I will ask you, what are you predicting?
Okay, so barring a mishap like, the red card or
Huh,
something like some untoward incident that
sure.
nobody can predict, uh, I think 11v11. I think this could be a draw. Uh, I agree Brentford aren't doing that well right now,
Hmm,
but I don't think United are either.
hmm,
I think we're in 11th because of the red card gifting us 3 points
right.
at the moment. So I feel it'll be a score draw, something like 2-2 and a fairly chaotic game. I don't think Brentford are gonna. Uh, and the other thing is we haven't beaten Brentford away from home in 2 years. I think we've lost twice in a row. So it's not a particularly easy game for us, but they're weaker this year. So I think it'll be 2-2. Uh,
Hmm, okay.
mm, my belief is that they're going to sit deep and hit us on the counter, and that
Right.
would be pretty smart. But
But
let's see what they do.
who will they hit us on the counter with?
I,
Like
I mean,
seriously,
they have
like who do they even have right now? I
no,
really don't. I'm
no,
still.
they have threats. I can see Kevin Schade causing problems for whoever's a right centre back. I
Hmm.
think it's going to be challenging for whether it's Delayed or Euro. They're going to have a tough day, man.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think Kevin Shada and maybe, oh wow, there's Jordan Henderson
Dan-
midfield. I don't know how good he is now, but
and they have Dango Tara. I don't know if he's fit, but if he plays, he could be a
hmm,
threat for us with his directness.
right, right.
They also have this centre mid we've been linked with, Yarmoluk, I think his name is. Every time I
Hmm,
watch him play, he seems really calm and composed on the ball. He's a nice passer. Uh, I think his best position is probably as a six. Um, he might be really important against us,
hmm,
and he kind of does look like a player we could do with. So yeah, should be interesting.
hmm. Yeah, but
What's your
just
prediction?
yeah, sorry, just trying to see our head to head with them, and we lost to them in May at Brentford.
Yeah, we
So
did.
just looking at away games to kind of see how we performed against them. So May 2025 in the Premier League we lost 4-3. March
Right.
2024 we drew 1-1. Before that, August 2022 we lost 4-0. Oh my god. Oh, that was that famous game after which Ten Hag made the
Yes.
entire team run.
Precisely.
And
Yeah.
before that was Jan 2022 where we won 3-1. Oh, I think was this one of the games under Ralph Rangnick when we looked pretty good.
It could be. I don't
Yeah,
recall.
Jan 22 before Ten Hag, right? So yeah, it was yeah, Ralph Rangnick was the manager. And we
Okay.
had 3 second half goals from Anthony Alanga, Greenwood, and Rashford. And yeah, we played the famous what 4-2-2-2, I think. But yeah, so it's been a while since I won at Brentford.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. And yeah, before that the records don't matter because the away game before that was in 1947. So never mind. I don't know, man. Like, so okay, it does feel it will, probably be a high scoring draw, like you said, like say a
Maybe. Yeah.
2-2 or whatever. But I also think,
Mhm.
uh, yeah, I think I think this game is going to be like a Jeopardy game, man. Like we should be beating them handsomely, to be fair. Like despite who our manager and our tactic is, we have good players. We have their best player from last season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's certainly
We
safe to
we
say
have
we have
We
better
have
players than
Embumo,
Brentford.
we have Bruno, we have Ahmad, we have Cunha,
Yeah.
we have Chesko,
Yeah.
right? I mean, sure, Chesko has
I
not
think
scored a goal
Brentford
yet.
have built a really nice team, but I don't think they have a better squad than United, and that's fair to say. Like,
Yeah.
it's not such a
So in an
ridiculous team.
ideal world, we should be winning like 2-0 or 3-1 against them.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. We
yeah,
haven't looked capable of it, and Brentford have scored in every game in the league so far this
yeah.
season, even while losing. There's a goal in them, man.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that.
No, I agree. So I think if the Burnley game had not happened, I would have said we will win 3-1 or something.
Hmm.
Even with my lack of confidence in Amorim, I would have said we would win 3-1 because well, they're just a horrible team. But given that Burnley happened,
Yeah,
and given that it's not probable that we'll get a penalty every time, I'll just go with
yeah,
whatever you said. I think it's
yeah,
going to be 2-2.
yeah. So that's a fair, like,
Yeah,
barring like some unusual happening.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable take.
However,
Hmm.
and this will probably get me a lot of it. I won't be surprised if we lose.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either because I do think they can really hit us on the counter.
Yeah, and we
They
lost to Grimsby,
absolutely
man.
have the.
As much as I say I don't hold that loss against Amorim, but we still lost in a very, very bad way. It's not like a smash and grab 1-0 win, right? It was, I mean, I know penalties, but still,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Grimsby deserved
they completely
both their
nullified
goals
us.
for
And
sure.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
for sure.
I don't think any United fan at the end of penalties said we deserve to win that game, right? It was not like a smash and
No,
grab 1-0 where they just kind of hit us on the counter and this, absorbed our pressure for
I
90
think they were.
minutes, hit us on the counter and
I
win. They played well. And even
Yeah, they were
their
largely
manager said
better
the
than we
same thing
were.
that Marco Silva said.
Yes, which is worrying. Like,
Yeah, it is
if
very
teams
worrying.
can see, if teams can see that formula and adapt it, and by the way, Pep's Man City did something similar.
Yeah,
You'll
but
notice
you
they told
expect Pep to do that. You don't expect
Liverpool.
Grimsby Town to do that.
Yeah, but
Come on, man.
with no, with the proliferation of everything online and just the amount of information available in football now, I think that's going to be more and
Okay,
more
okay. Okay, I'll say this.
likely.
I would expect Grimsby to know to do that, but for them to actually pull it off, given the gulf in
Is different.
quality in the players,
Yes,
right? Like this is
yes,
not
yes,
Brentford we're
absolutely.
talking about, who just lost. I mean, who's a Premier League side? They're playing in League Two, man.
I agree. Yeah, it shouldn't be
Like Grimsby would
so
agree that
easy
they're
for
a
them
horrible
to.
side. Like Grimsby themselves would agree that they're not a good side, right? Like their
Yeah,
captain was confused that they defeated us because he himself is a Manchester United fan.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he was unhappy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll see. I think it won't surprise me if we lose that game. So yeah, we will see how it goes. I think we do. I mean, in an ideal world, we should be winning that game. It's, I think, Amorim's best chance to get the fabled back-to-back wins
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
shut a lot of people, including us, up because that's been the standard. That's just been my go-to, man. Anybody defends Amorim, I'm like, has he won back-to-back games? So
I think here's the thing. I think the fact that he hasn't won back-to-back games is what helps him. And you're gonna think I'm crazy, but hear me out. I realize that the wins he gets are perfectly spaced out. There've been 32 games, and he has roughly 8 wins,
no, no,
right, in the Premier League,
I get what you're
right?
saying.
Yeah.
Like I joke
They've
that the
been,
Chelsea winners bought him 6 more months with Ineos, right?
and I think you're right. I think it's at least brought him 5 games of rope, which is at least 2 months, right?
Exactly.
Like just on the, and by then another win comes, and
Yeah, and given
basically,
that Ineos is a spectacularly good communicator, he will just give
yeah,
some more shtick about the team needing to develop more, or shouting at a journalist saying, "Don't you know how bad we played?" Or
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
"Fans need to suffer. This is the process. Trust the process. The Pope cannot
And
make me change my tactic."
I love that it's okay. I understand the tactic not being the problem, but how can we be so certain that it has no problems at all? Like, I don't think there's any tactic in the world which has no problems at all, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise managers wouldn't exist. Like, because then what is it doing, right? Like,
but I think regardless, I think this is, I would say, Ambrose' best chance to win back-to-back
it is
games because
largely because he's won one.
exactly, because after because after Burnley,
Right, right.
the thing was, oh, the
Yeah,
next 5 games are City, Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland, and Liverpool, right?
which is
And
tough, which is
which is
tough.
tough. I
Yeah,
don't think anybody even expecting us to beat Sunderland. So people are like, oh,
yeah.
maybe he'll get one win against Brentford, maybe a draw against Sunderland, and 3 losses. But well, thanks to Sanchez having a brain fart, We defeated Chelsea.
Yeah,
So this is probably our best chance to win back-to-back games.
100%.
And
Yeah.
I think Somdeep, if he does win this game, his job is safe to the end of the season.
I'm gonna have to say you're right because his job was somehow safe after finishing 15th.
Exactly.
So
And if we
yeah,
win
you're
this
right.
game, like we'll be on 10 points, right? We could even, you know, jump to top six if results go our way, right?
I think the worst part of how bad we were last season is that like we could literally finish 14th and it would count as an improvement, and there's nothing we could deny about that.
No, I
Like
think yeah. No,
because
what
there
I'm
is
saying is
like
if we do win against Brentford, which is equally likely as our
it's
both of our
possible
drop
for
draw
sure.
predictions, United will
Yeah.
probably go into top six or top seven, and then
Hmm.
you will see the narrative change completely on Ruben Amorim in the media, because the media is a the media is a fickle mind. They don't care. They just need clicks. So the media
Yeah.
narrative will change completely. Ineos will feel vindicated. Amorim will feel vindicated, and then we just trudge through the season and then finish 12th or 13th again.
Yeah, that's the thing, because the games unfortunately aren't won on media narrative.
Yeah,
If narrative alone was enough to win games in the Premier League, then United would win the Premier League every year, right? Because
yeah,
we always proclaim that we've had the best transfer window. I've been guilty of it myself,
yeah,
and it never maps out that,
yeah.
because the truth is it's like that's not how games are won, right?
You know the funniest part is Brentford might be our best chance to win a game for the next 2 months.
Yeah, I've seen
Have you seen?
a lineup after that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in October and November, we play
Mhm.
Sunderland, Liverpool, Brighton, Forest, Spurs, Everton, and Palace. And then
Oh.
we play West Ham in December, which is probably our next best chance to win a game. So,
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that.
so I
Like, or
think
at least to get a convincing victory.
I won't be surprised if throughout October and November we just get a few draws, have a few moral victories, and then just ride the success of defeating Chelsea and the mighty Brentford in GTEC Community Stadium. And
I think Amram's future is going to be decided, like at United, is going to be decided in these 2 months. And the reason I say that is the 12 million clause on his contract that was reported. It goes away end of
mm,
October, beginning of November.
yeah,
So, like the way I've seen Ineos work, they're going to look at that and decide like his future
yeah, and
on
if
what
we lose
happens in
all the
this
three
time.
games in October, very possible. Or maybe one draw.
E-
We draw Sunderland, lose
e-
the other two.
Yeah, if we get one win, like you said, and somehow scam our way into the top 10, then probably his job's
Yeah,
safe.
that's what I'm saying. If we
That's where we're
defeat
at.
Brentford, he has scammed his way till December, and then he'll defeat West Ham, and
Yeah.
then
Then
we'll
then then
probably
it's
beat
like
West
he's
Ham.
gonna get
There's
5 years. Yeah, he'll get 5 years at that point.
oh my god,
Two
imagine.
wins. Yeah. He's already beaten his ratio, right? Because it's gone from 1 in 4 wins to 2 wins in the first five, right? Uh, Nothing to write home about, but still, yeah, it's fair. It's decent.
Yeah,
So he gets a win against Brentford, like that buys him 12 games.
I know, right? But yeah, we shall see. We'll see how this whole thing goes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I
yeah,
do
for
think we can beat Brentford. I don't think that's a crazy
we should.
prediction
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'll stick to my 2-2 prediction, but I think I won't be surprised if we
yeah.
win. But also equally, I won't be
Mhm.
surprised if we lose. It just this team is just so bad. Uh,
Yeah.
we will probably start Ugarte at Brentford. It's probably going to be a Bruno Ugarte midfield. So,
Ouch. Yeah.
anyways,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Casemiro's out. Oh man. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, we'll catch you folks over the weekend. It's an early
Right.
kickoff for Brentford, so Somdi probably a bit too early for you, but we'll catch you late.
Probably a bit too early. Probably a bit too early for our players as well. Looking at how they play.
Yeah, so we'll catch you folks over the weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not too depressed because we have a hard run of 2 months coming up. So we need
Yeah.
we need some memories to tide us over.
Yeah. Any points at this point.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, let us know what you want to see from the pod, and make
Or
sure to
hate.
or hate. Yeah, if you hate our stupid faces, well, we'll get a plastic surgery. But and make sure to subscribe. Tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button so that help us grow. Thank you, and we'll see you. We'll see you the weekend.
Bye bye.
Bye.